The most dangerous thing a successful man with his life together can do is pick the wrong woman. The wrong woman can completely derail and destroy your life. Not to mention, she will rob you of the opportunity to find a woman who is a great fit for you and can actually provide lots of value to your life. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the 6 red flags to avoid in women. And this isn't going to be any of the nonsense you see like, oh, bad breath, or she didn't shower. It's not going to be any obvious stuff like that. This is going to be substantive character traits and flaws that are a recipe for a bad relationship and a lot of times a toxic dynamic between you and your partner. Girls with huge egos. A woman with an ego is a woman who always has something to prove and, more importantly, something to defend. If she has to prove herself to other girls or other people around her, it will often come at the expense of you and your relationship. She'll put you or the relationship second place to her ego and do everything she can to upkeep it. Egotistical people will use people and situations around them for validation, and more dangerously, their ego will get them into dangerous situations that they can drag you into along with them. A girl with an ego is always going to feel threatened by anything that challenges that. So if you decide to go and do something that makes her feel less than or challenges her sense of self-worth, she is going to overreact, and that overreaction is not only going to put a burden on yourself and the relationship, but that overreaction can also hold you back from doing the things that you really want to do. And because a woman with a huge ego always has to defend her sense of self-worth, that typically makes them more prone to be argumentative. If she thinks something you did or something your friend did or something someone in your life did is going to challenge her sense of self-worth, she is going to fight to protect it, meaning it's going to be a relationship full of arguments and fights. And do you really need that type of headache in your life? Needy. If you're a man with any ambition to do something with your life, you absolutely must avoid needy women like the plague. They will suck your time, energy, and attention away from more important things and be a constant nag in your life. A relationship should be complementary to your lifestyle, meaning it fits in perfectly and enhances your life. It should not take away from your life. If you find yourself in relationships or dynamics with women that are actively taking away from your mission and your purpose and the type of lifestyle you want to lead, then you found yourself in a relationship with a woman who is simply a bad fit for your lifestyle. It may not be that she's the worst person in the world or that you hate her. No, it just means that you two are not the right fit to be a part of each other's life. You may be the wrong fit for her and she may be the wrong fit for you. That's okay, but when you recognize this, it's important to take decisive action and end the relationship right then and there, rather than dragging it out longer and longer and just making the inevitable worse. Now, all of that being said, any relationship in your life is going to require some degree of attention. So you have to understand and get radically clear with yourself on what it is you want out of a relationship. How much attention and how much time are you willing to dedicate to a relationship if you feel like it is adding value to your life and if you feel like it is a person worth sacrificing for. This is ideally something you want to do before you get into a relationship. Get intentional. Get that clarity on what you're looking for in the moment. So this way you're operating from a set of values and core principles that fit your lifestyle. So when you find someone who either fits it or doesn't, you can either remove them from your life respectfully or add them to your life because they're exactly what you're looking for. The biggest mistake I see men make is that they are not clear about what it is they're looking for. So when they find themselves in a relationship with a woman, even if it's not an ideal scenario for them, they'll stick to it because they're emotionally invested now. And because they never had a clear set of values or principles to begin with, they're only going to act out of emotion and how they feel in the moment, which is a setup for a bad long-term outcome. Petty. A girl who is petty is probably the worst of them all. She will make a big deal out of nothing, she won't take responsibility, and she'll always assume the least charitable interpretation of their actions. Not to mention, she'll scorekeep and be vindictive about the little things. This sort of vindictive back and forth revenge-seeking behavior in a relationship is extremely toxic, and you should avoid it not just in your romantic relationships, but in your friendships and even relationships with your family. Yes, relationships are about providing and receiving value. However, once you become too transactional about it, you remove the human an emotional element out of it, and it ends up just becoming a sterile transactional relationship that nobody benefits from. Scorekeeping is the downfall of all relationships. It sucks the emotional and human element out of them. It turns everything into a transaction, and this accounting of I did this, so you have to do this in return is going to derail your relationship and put you into a combative us versus them frame with your partner. You never want to be at odds with your partner. They're called your partner for a reason. You want to be operating from a place where you're both on the same team, operating fighting on the same side of the table. It's you and your partner against the problem, not you against your partner. And this is a bonus red flag you should look out for. If your partner has the tendency to attack you instead of the problem when you find yourself in disagreements, you're likely with an immature partner who cannot separate the problem from you, and it's going to cause a lot of strain and combativeness in your relationship. And if you want to know what the biggest green flag in a woman is, it's her ability to separate her anger and emotions towards a problem and separate it from you rather than assuming you are the problem. This level of maturity is very rare. Being able to separate the two requires a certain level of emotional intelligence and stability that is ideal for creating long-term relationships. Dumb. This one is self-explanatory. Do you really want to be a full-time tutor to a girl? Being pretty is not the only personality trait worth filtering for. I mean, unless you're looking for extremely casual relationships, a woman who's dumb probably won't be a great long-term fit for you. And the biggest reason being dumb is a red flag in a woman is because if you are looking for a long-term partner, someone who's going to bring your future children into the world, you have to think you're likely going to be working and providing for the family, which is going to require you to be away from your family. Who's going to spend the most time with your future child? Your wife. So you're going to want someone who is smart and intelligent so that your son can absorb that intelligence from your wife. If your wife is dumb, how do you think your child is going to end up, considering he's going to be spending more time with her than he is with you? So trust me when I say this, if you want to build something healthy and long-term, personality is going to be a lot more important than prettiness. Controlling. The last thing a man on a mission needs is someone micromanaging every aspect of his life. I've lost plenty of relationships because they interfered with my mission. But here's the kicker. If I had deserted my mission for the relationship, I would have lost the respect of the girl and eventually the relationship, because a relationship cannot exist if you don't respect the other person. You have no one to answer to but yourself. You don't have to answer to your girlfriend or explain yourself to anyone for that matter, especially in regards to things going on in your own life. You want to aim for women and relationships that fit in with your lifestyle and values as a person. This way you don't have to change anything about yourself or your life, and she doesn't have to either. If you're a man with a strong urge to go out there and impose your will onto the world, it's going to require you to forego and even end relationships that take away from your mission. And a lot of women, when they date you and they feel your spirit and vigor for life, it's going to entice them. And because that strong masculine spirit is so rare these days, she's going to feel compelled to try and lock you down and make you less of that. She's going to try to dull your edge. You have to avoid these types of women at all costs, and you have to find the right ones who will let you be fully 100% yourself and not shame you for your edge or try to change you. This is a very common issue guys run into. They find a girl who they really like, they settle down with her, and because they found this relationship and because the woman loves them so much, she tries to take more from the man than she needs to. She tries to take all of him, and when she takes all of him, she's taking him away from his purpose and his mission. And because he's emotionally invested, because he's having a lot of sex, and because a lot of times he's in scarcity because he doesn't really know how to go up and get the relationships with women that he wants, he latches onto this and he allows himself to sacrifice his mission and his greater purpose in life for the relationship. And that strong spirit, that lust for life, the fire in his eyes, the fire inside of his soul slowly fades and burns until you find yourself waking up at 35, living a life of quiet desperation. Overly sensitive. You don't want to live your life and spend your most relaxed and intimate moments walking on eggshells. It's stressful, it puts you on a tightrope, and it's no way for a man to live his life. You know that thing where a husband asks permission from his wife to do normal, basic shit, or makes it his highest priority to not upset his wife with the stuff that he himself is doing, even if it's really minor? You need to avoid this at all costs. When somebody's overly sensitive and always a second away from exploding, you want to cut them out of your life ASAP. Having to walk on eggshells around your partner is a form of self-cucking that is hard to come back from. If you have to censor yourself, watch what you say, and put on a facade in front of your partner, then what's the point of being with them in the first place? Your partner is supposed to be the person that you can be fully 100% yourself around. You shouldn't need to walk on eggshells, restrict yourself, or hold parts of yourself back. If you find yourself doing this in a relationship, then I got news for you. You are in the wrong relationship. A partner who is truly good for you will allow you and encourage you to go out and be fully 100% yourself and to not live your life with any restrictions. The modern world in its entirety is designed to dull your edge and to place restrictions on you to force you to be more compliant and to serve society's best interests. Overcoming this conditioning placed on us by society is already hard enough. If we're going to invite a partner into our life who is going to further restrict us and further beat us down and dull our edge, then we're setting ourselves up for a life of misery and self-cucking that is very, very difficult to come back from. Now, I know we covered lots of red flags in these videos, but it's important that you understand these red flags and understand the values and the type of partner you're looking for in a relationship, because if you don't, you're going to just run into the first relationship with a girl who likes you back and not necessarily the best long-term relationship for yourself and your lifestyle. I know because I've coached hundreds of clients through relationships like this. I've helped get clients out of bad relationships and into healthy relationships with long-term partners. Like my client Ben, who is a senior guy in private equity, who got himself out of a toxic relationship, got himself back in the game, going on multiple dates per week, and eventually into a relationship with a nice Italian girl who he's seeing steady now. If you want to work with myself and my team personally to help you avoid the red flags in the women you come across and instead help you identify the green flags for getting yourself into a happy and healthy long-term relationship, me and my team can help you do that, no problem. Just apply below to check out the coaching program and how we can help you get on 1 to 3 dates per week and eventually into a relationship within the next 30 days. Fair warning though, because of the personal time and investment we keep to each client one-on-one inside our program, it's not cheap to join. So if you're on a tight budget, then just check out our free course that we just released, walking you through exactly how to get more matches on dating apps, how to attract women through Instagram, and how to go out and approach and attract women in person. It's 100% free. All you have to do is click below. So I'll see you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I appreciate all the support over the last 7.5 years, and I'm very excited to keep making these videos for you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.